did well after a little bit of an inauspicious start. In fact, the first shot that he saw, his defender clipped his stick out of his hands, but after that, he settled in. It's Yale in the white with the blue bottoms, BU in the red tops, and a face-off violation. Because just when swiping it, that head coach Ryan Pulley can go with, but change the eyesight of the goalie Phillips. Jackson has scored now once in each of the 3 games for Yale thus far, and this is going to be a push on BU. It's Mike Ramirez who took the face-off. A couple of really talented face-off men that head coach Ryan Pulley can go with, but 0 for 2 for the visitors, and Yale once again well. And when we spoke with Coach Shea, he said, yeah, as long as the ball rotation is there, it's almost like a volume shooter. Anderson is going to get his goals over the course of the season. As a clean win for Madden Murphy, another one of the face-off unit that the down Gately, but still composed finish under pressure. And Yale, again, there were, not to say nerves, you play the game as the game, but on paper, Coach Shea was saying, hey, listen, we're going to have to be good on all 3 phases, offense, defense, and at the dot. And so far, yes, short and small sample size, but they're creating their chances. Sure, they've had some problems in the clearing game, but
he's just so amazing. He really can do so much. And I kept on saying, well, when are we going to see him? When are we going to see him? And it was just so many guys on the field for Yale last year. They graduated so many guys who had played for so long. There just wasn't enough ball to go around, and now you see him getting his runs, and this is what he's capable of.
And another face-off win for Nick Tate. That's his 11th assist already of the season. He had 11 points against Siena back on the 6th. But Yale with another face-off win, getting out to Gaetano Cicatello, first year from Washington, D.C.
And this is where you see the pressure.
It's so important in the 10-man as well. You need your attackmen to be just as good defenders in addition to the poles in the back. You need those guys to be active, and that's where you get those unsettled opportunities and you can capitalize. And the way that Yale's winning it at the dot, it can almost become make it take.
Breakdown in the unsettled situation, but a great play by the Terriers there. And this is how they play. They're going to pressure you, and they're going to cause those turnovers, get a nice long clock, and now they get a face-off win. A lot of these teams love to play. They're gonna do it. And this team, this would have been the 5th meeting. They were actually supposed to play last year, but there was a scheduling snafu where both Yale was scheduled for 2 games in one day, and the relationship.
And another save as well from Ben Friedman so far. So we talk about that Army game where it was a lot of, create for yourself offense. That more of a product of Army's defense on the day, or is that still Yale just trying to figure out who they were? There's a great trail check to knock the ball loose off the stick of Anthony Annunziata. And Anderson found the seam with a beautiful cut. Yale shooting at 50%, 7 of 14. I mean, even more, they forced 3 saves from Connor Phillips, so they're getting their looks at volume. We've just gone past the 20-minute mark in this game. Below us right now, a number of the poles have come off the field for BU. They're getting a talking to by one of the assistants. Just too many times that the attackers for the Bulldogs have gotten their hands free. And it's just simple dodges, but effective enough. A big hit, though. He's getting sent over the sideline. It was Luke Mahalik in possession back
of kind of shutting him down. But once you get into that man down situation and you need to rotate away from him, he's going to get his arms free like that.
Kemware's 44 for BU, the reigning Patriot League Defensive Player of the Week. 4th BU player to record over 30 calls turnovers in a season. Last year, actually, he averaged over 4 ground balls per game down the stretch in April and May. He is a monster, but as you said, the youngsters having a day for Yale. And now with under 5 minutes to go for the Terriers, who have put 18 shots towards Yale's cage that they're defending.
So they're seeing it's one pass and then seeing that Timmy Shanahan can sneak around from behind and you can feed the ball to him.
And as I said last year, this team led the country in man-up percentage. They scored 31 man-up goals last year. We're talking over 2 Meg State last year. So this is almost a return for him, and he is fired up trying to get his team and the fans behind the BU bench going. Still enough time to try and create one mini possession. Yale win the face-off with 1 on the clock. That will do it for the first half. The Terriers get a little momentum into the locker room with a pair of goals from Tim Shanahan, but Yale striking for 9 in the first half, and they lead by 5. We'll be back in just a moment as you're watching men's college lacrosse on ESPN+. What April and May can give you. And if there's anything to take from that first 30 minutes for Yale on both sides of the ball, they're going to be an exceptional team when they have it all clicked together. As Yale, after losing the face-off, a ground ball from the captain, Patrick Pisano, and the Bulldogs will have the first possession. And thanks for spending your Saturday here.
Side there.
Yeah, he's basically going to be a guy that if he can cut and the cycling is where it needs to be, the ball's going to find him. It's all about Anderson needing to put it away. BU asking for a foul on Yale, but they're going to get it nonetheless. Jackson Matthews to the ground ball. Now again in this sport, we have seen leads as that time Finn, the media Pennsylvania native, says, I'm going to do it on my own. He scored a man-up goal against Siena a couple of weeks ago. As the foul will go on Yale.
Wow, and that's questionable because
Grogan with a goal and 2 assists today. Anderson on a 4-point day. I appreciate our crew downstairs showing, what brought that possession account about, because you spoke about Ghosh so glowingly that he's done all the little things right on the defensive end. That's allowed Yale to have so many transition looks. It's funny because I always kind of put my hand down and say, slow the ball, because he rushed that last possession.
And catching those, meeting the ball. Would love to see this defense keep on winning those ground balls as they come down. But he's just doing a fantastic job right now.
And another big one as well, a confident goalie doesn't allow good rebounds. If there is a rebound that comes, as Nick Wehmeyer lost the handle after winning the faceoff, ground ball gobbled up. Well, that's a thing, though, for Shanahan. If you take away the passing game, no problem. He can score. He had 32 of them last season. Now on a dozen this year as his hat trick is wrapped up in a 4-point afternoon. That's why as a player that won the the Patriot League Rookie of the Year, honorable mention All-America, played for the U.S. Doesn't even count the shots that hit the pipes. You'd probably imagine of the 30 shot attempts that Yale have had, 24 of them have been on the goal frame as a face-off win. And going quickly is Madden Murphy, but it's knocked loose before it got there. And Yale once again with the ground ball. Big hit, but held on by Mahalik. Clock to force a difficult save.
And you think about what coaches have always said to kids about shooting. Shoot high to low, bounce, change the plane of the ball. Getting to the middle of the field. All those things that they're doing.
Woo! What a finish. Jimmy Core.
Jimmy Core also getting to the middle of the field and just ripping a shot past Friedman.
It was quick off the faceoff win from Madden Murphy. And then Tim Shanahan just allowing the play to develop in front of him. And actually, you know what? You're not going to give an assist to Madden Murphy there, but he set a little bit of a pick, not by design, but he was able to create some separation.
And that's all, those little seals of just sealing off the defenseman off ball is just, it's huge. Keeping that guy, letting your teammate getting a step.
I mean, how many bodies are trying to come away with the ground ball? It's a man that started it, Nick Wehmeyer. Then he lost out. BU comes away with it. Minute 16 left to go. This will be a full reset. And Shanahan picks literally the one sliver that's not being defended by the goalie and still scores. Quick win off the faceoff from Madden Murphy. Can't call that your best look in a possession. It is a look, but you're just trying to ask a question out of a goalie. Ground ball still being fought for. The Terriers have it, but this becomes a clear now. Talk about the efficiency. Yale have been that today. 25 of their 35 shots have been on frame. That doesn't include the couple of posts that they hit. It's not going to get any easier over the next couple of weeks, but you have to give yourself a platform to have any sort of success. And you know, we talked about the game on Tuesday against a Marist University team. Okay, I'm going to go years past, and you say a team out of a MAC or a quote-unquote bottom-level team or league. Marist University, amongst many others in that conference, they're going to take off wins from big programs. So you can't look at that one lightly. They got the job done there. Yeah, okay, it is a step in the increase in demand and difficulty today with Boston University, but sometimes, and Coach Shade did joke with us saying, looking back on it, probably wouldn't have wanted to schedule 2 games in the week when you have BU on. BU able to win the face-off, taking off of Ben Cuomo. So we've spoken a lot about Yale, Pat, on the BU side, as that one's put away from a tight angle by Jimmy Core. You can't fault, really, the shot selection from the Terriers today. Offensively, they've looked really, really good. They just ran into a really good goalie on the day.
Yeah, Friedman's been fantastic, and you're going to see a little alley dodge. And that's probably the one that I think he'll want to have back more than anything else, because it's just such a low angle shot. Didn't even get a stick back to the middle. But BU, and still not giving up. They're looking, they're like, can we score 5 in a minute 47?
Well, another face-off win.
And that, you hear the fans and players calling for a hold.
So the bouncer goes over the bar after Aiden Johnson found a loose man.